yeah. Ball in my court, high step is a layup. My life like a movie, just keep moving, it's a trailer. Chefing in my kitchen, got me trying to get my cake up. I thank God for all this coming to me, not straight up. Ball in my court, high step is a layup.
Episode 6, he's with us. Punch down on that subscribe button wherever you're tuning in. Punch down on that subscribe button if you're watching this on YouTube. I was just distracted. Ash was trying to talk to me. That's why you got to take breaks from the phone, man. The phone distracts you from life. What were you trying to tell me?
So I saw recently online people talking about the best high school basketball boys team versus the WNBA champions, the Las Vegas Aces. Who would win?
Yeah, the guys would win. But why are we having this conversation? Not why are we having this conversation, but why is this conversation like...
Oh, I don't know. I mean, it just became a topic.
Who you think would win?
It depends on the game. You know what I mean? I think if it got down to a half-court game, I think the Aces could beat them.
Come on, bro.
I'm keeping it a buck, bro. Only because high school players are not patient basketball players, right? The Aces are going to be significantly more patient. Those girls can shoot their lights out. But if it was a transition,
the boards, bro. The boards.
But they don't miss. These girls don't miss, bro. These girls can really shoot, and they're patient offensively.
It's a different level of athleticism.
I agree, but
this isn't like boys that can't hoop. These are like kids that are probably, a few of them will make the league, a few of them might go to Kentucky, a few of them might go to Duke.
Okay, I understand that, but you got to take in, these are grown women versus kids, right? And the physical part, absolutely. The young
kids about to
those
be men.
Boys,
pretty soon.
I agree, but mentally, are they men? That's the difference. Like, do they have the patience to beat these girls? You know what I mean? Like, real talk. That's what it comes down to. I just think that they would take bad shots. They wouldn't play. They wouldn't take themselves seriously defensively. They'd leave them open. I think that they could. They have a chance of losing in that situation. But I mean,
that's the 7 series. Who do you think wins?
The boys.
Okay.
Yeah, I do.
So you think the girls can win?
Absolutely. That's the question. The question is, can they win? It wasn't who's going to beat them. You know what I mean?
So you're saying, it wouldn't be like the boys, if they played 100 times, would it be 100-0?
No, absolutely not.
How many times would it be out of 100?
100 games, man. I don't know. Maybe like
Cooper
less
Flagg's
than 20.
team? How you think Cooper Flagg would do?
Oh, he dominate.
Yeah.
He dominate. I hope he dominate.
Yeah.
Yeah, what you think about Cooper Flagg?
Love his game.
What do you love about his game?
Changes the game on both sides of the floor. Could handle it, could shoot it. Great positional size. Kind of looks like a young Garnett out there in high school.
He's 6'8", fam.
That's true. Wait, is he only 6'8"?
That's why I don't think he's gonna be that good. He's only 6'8". Like, dog, I get it.
He handles and creates his own off the dribble better than.
I agree. But dog, he's 6'8". That's why I don't think he's gonna be that good. I think he's gonna be Gordon Hayward. And Gordon Hayward is a nice piece, bro. That's a nice player.
You don't got a bag like Gordon Hayward yet.
Yeah, I tell you that. He doesn't. You know what I mean? But
he can't get in the mid range and get a shot off. It's effortless.
Like, dog.
But he's a better athlete.
He's a better athlete.
He's going to be more versatile defender.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But I just like, though, he's 6'8". Like, people talking about this dude, like,
Yo.
If he was 6'10 to 6'11, I'd be like, okay, let's watch out. You know what I mean? Like,
he's special, man.
He is special, but I think he's going to be.
Guy throws the ball off the backboard to himself and dunks it like on a regular occurrence.
Every black motherfucker in the hood does that shit. Come on, bro. Like, dog, come on. Like, I get it. It's a white American basketball player doing some black shit that excites everybody. But no, I think he's gonna be.
So you saying I had the advantage going up?
Of course you did. I mean, no. I take that back.
Basketball wise,
like, when white players do the same thing black players do, they get a lot further. I personally think.
I don't know if it's a lot further. They might get more oohs and ahs. Yeah, but they're not going necessarily further in their career because of like the color of their skin.
You think so?
Yeah, I don't think so.
No, I think so. I think there's a decent amount of players, white players that were like pretty good and they got better, much more opportunities because of the color of the skin. Like
I'm sure there's instances where that is true.
Yeah. Okay.
Instances. I don't
But,
know.
like, I mean,
I don't know if that's like regular. Like
okay.
normal.
Do you think Austin Reeves is great?
Nice, great player. Yeah, I do. He's better than D'Lo.
I don't even know if he's better than D'Lo,
better
but
than
I
D'Lo.
think he's better
He's
than
better.
D'Lo on the Lakers. But why is he having
He's a
such
better
a bad
all-around
season?
player.
Why is he having such a bad season this year then?
What the hell? He's having a bad season. There's people of all races having bad seasons. What the hell are you talking about, bro?
No, I just don't think Austin Reeves is that good. I think he's a solid player. but I
Okay,
think-
so he's
but
the
dog,
fucking barometer for all white people?
American white players, yeah, right now.
Kevin Love's still in the league?
Kevin Love is starting this year.
Yeah.
Kevin Love is a part of why the Miami Heat are playing well
Max
right now.
Strus.
Yeah, is he white American though?
Think so.
He came out of nowhere. Where the fuck did he come out of?
I don't know. When I seen him in Summer League, he's from Chicago area.
Is he?
When I seen him in Summer League,
He's
was
like
different.
Chicago.
I don't know. Like Chicago's too much. Like I don't know what goes into Chicago because there's so many areas. Like you have to be from Chicago to know Chicago. You know.
Yeah, no, I mean, if he's from Chicago, that makes sense. The dude's got some toughness to him.
But I heard like people in Chicago didn't think this would happen. Like they didn't realize he was an NBA player back then.
Yeah.
When I saw him in Summer League, that guy was different. Like he was putting up 30, one leg 30.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I remember
crazy.
watching him, and I was like, "Who is this dude?" And he's got a certain swagger to him.
He does.
He's playing awful right now for Cleveland, though. I'll tell you that. Cleveland's awful right now.
Speaking of awful, the
Yeah.
Clippers, man. You went on a James Harden rant about 2-3 episodes ago. Might have been episode 1.
Yeah, seems like I'm right.
It seems like you're right now.
No, I'm right. James Harden is terrible.
I mean, they could only go up from here. Do you think it's more the pieces or the fit?
What I think it is that it's a fit situation. I think that, like, think about, first of all, you add a piece like that, it's gonna make everyone else a bit tentative, right? And I think that, like, when Russ came in initially, it was a struggle. They figured it out, right? James is Russ was willing to change his whole game, cater more towards opening up the floor for the other guys. James is not adaptable. That's his problem. I just think
But Russ isn't either.
Russ has adapted. This season, Russ is taking like 9 shots a game, shooting 50%. Russ he's coming off the ball. He's playing off the ball a little bit more.
Kawhi's not adaptable either, but he's their best player.
Man, Kawhi's not having a great season either so far.
He don't
Paul
look
George
as-
is having their best season right now.
He don't look as bursty.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. So none of this matters.
But regardless of all this, right?
No, but can I say one thing?
Yeah.
None of this matters if Kawhi's not Toronto Raptors Kawhi. Like, they're not winning if he's not that
Oh,
Kawhi.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
But regardless of all that, like, prior to James Harden coming, they were one of the best teams in the league. They had the number 1 offense.
That was very small sample size.
Granted, they were playing great. And the thing about it is, like, sample size or not, mentality plays a huge part. If you just won your last 3 games, everyone's getting the ball exactly where they want to, everyone's feeling good, it helps even when you're playing bad because you're riding off of momentum. Now, look at this. You add this huge piece and you lose 6 straight, and not just 6 straight close games. You're getting blown out. You got blown out by a depleted Brooklyn Nets team. Cam Thomas got hurt first quarter. No Ben Simmons. No what's his name? Who's their
Nick Claxton.
Nick Claxton. Like, dog, they got blown out by that team, bro. Like, their offense is the worst in the league right now since they've been on the team.
They're more talented now.
What does that mean?
Or are they not?
No. Well, yes, they're more talented. Yes, absolutely. But, like, they're not playing
Usually
well.
when you're more talented, you have a higher ceiling.
I think that, like, so sometimes when I play with really good players, it's a hard adjustment, you know? And sometimes it's like selflessness. There's a selflessness, and like you don't feel you feel a little bit hesitant to kind of just like go straight into your bag, do your thing, and kind of disregard, try to take over the game. I think they're struggling with that. I think that James Harden.
You think they're trying to step on each other's feet? Not trying to step on each other's feet, on toes?
Well, I think James Harden is specifically trying to be something that the media is saying that he actually is. Like, he's a ball dominant person that is hard to play with. So he's
trying to be that?
No, I think he's trying not to be that. Okay. And I think it's affecting his game. But he has to be that. That's who he is. Yeah. And that person will never win a championship. Never be the best player on a championship team. So,
weren't they close and then Chris Paul pulled his hammy?
Yeah. I mean, I still don't think they would have won, but that was their closest team. I mean, but that wasn't James Harden. That was Chris Paul.
Chris Paul wasn't their best player, though.
It doesn't matter. Chris Paul was their most
floor general,
dominant player. You know what I mean? Like you don't. I've been saying
nobody was a more dominant player on those Rockets than James, especially during those MVP seasons.
Dominant scorer, yes. Dominant player, Chris Paul was more dominant.
I see what you're saying. Like, he's definitely more of a floor general, but he wasn't better at basketball at that point than James.
That doesn't mean that you're dominant. Like, I mean, Kobe Bryant was better at basketball than
James
Shaq.
Harden was their most dominant player. What are you talking about?
Dominating the game
during the Rockets Harden era. The whole system revolved around Harden. What do you mean he wasn't their most dominant player?
Okay, but still, at the end of the day, his system that was revolved around him didn't lead to playoff wins until Chris Paul got there.
The conversation is who was more dominant between Chris Paul and James Harden.
Okay, dominating the ball, absolutely. Yes.
Come on, man.
You know what I'm trying to say.
No, I don't. You just said Chris Paul was more dominant for the Rockets than James Harden was.
He contributed more to wins.
No, he didn't.
I 100% stand on
just because everybody's bagging on James Harden right now. Don't create false narratives.
I mean, James Harden. Okay, so what about the year when
I'm just saying James Harden was their most dominant player? Come on, man. The whole system was revolved. It was an analytic system that Morey came up with to accentuate what James Harden was.
Was it Morey or was it D'Antoni?
Morey.
Okay.
D'Antoni they were in cahoots. It was both of them, but this was Morey ball.
Okay.
Diving deep into analytics.
Okay.
Foul shots, layups, threes. Morey ball.
Wasn't winning until Chris Paul got there. He was getting bounced out the first round of the playoffs. They were the number 1 seed or the number 2 seed every year, and then the playoffs, he was getting bounced out until Chris Paul got there, and they went to the conference finals. And then Chris Paul got hurt. Then they lost. How dominant is James Harden?
But if James Harden got hurt, there's no team.
Nah. I think
they could have won without James Harden that year.
I think that game. I think Chris Paul can dominate a game.
The championship.
Like the thing about it is, like, if you score a ton of points, what are you looking at? 33, 34? You need an entire team to play well. Chris Paul is an individual that can affect an entire team. James Harden gets his points and gets whoever's running the pick and roll with him his assists. That's it. Everybody else stands around. That's his biggest problem. That's been his biggest problem his entire career.
Yeah, it is hard to win a championship that way.
So
I don't think it's ever
that's
been
why I don't consider him that dominant. You know what I mean? Like I was having a conversation with a friend the other day, and they were like, "Oh yeah, Joker is the best player on the team." Second.
Episode 1 that Jokic is the best player in the world. But go ahead.
No. He said Joker is the best player on the team. That Jamal Murray is the second best player on the team, and I was like, Jamal Murray isn't the second best player on the team.
What are you talking about right now?
I think Aaron Gordon is the second best player on the team.
Okay. I was about to say.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say Jokic is.
No. I think Aaron Gordon's the second best player on the team, and Aaron Gordon affects the game in so many more ways than Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray is a great scorer. I think if Jamal Murray was injured for the rest of the season, they're still a title contender. I think if Aaron Gordon's gone, they have no chance.
Yeah, but Jamal Murray's scoring punch and what he does and how he complements Jokic in the playoffs is everything to that team. I don't think they win a championship without either of them.
I think they have a much better chance with Aaron Gordon though. Aaron Gordon's intangibles, what he is doing defensively, bro. I used to hate on this dude, bro, when he was in Orlando. I thought he was a empty calorie player, bro. He is Andre Iguodala 2.0. Like he is like what Andre Iguodala was to that Warriors team. Those intangibles, he's doing the exact same thing. He is so valuable to that Denver team, bro. So,
I agree with you. I'm just saying, when Jamal Murray's in the playoffs, Bubble Murray, and this title run Murray, he's the best two guard in the NBA.
This run wasn't as good as Bubble Murray. Bubble Murray was a whole different, but everybody was crazy in the bubble. The bubble, like, dog, that's why I got
everybody wasn't crazy in the bubble.
Everybody was crazy.
TJ crazy. You seen Lou Williams going viral?
Okay, well, I mean, they didn't even want to be there. I mean, you know,
come on, man. Murray's their second best player. No, and I love Aaron Gordon.
No, I think Aaron Gordon's their second best player. Like, I think Murray's their second best talent by far. But I think Aaron Gordon's.
I mean, Aaron Gordon's really talented too. Yeah. It's nothing against Aaron Gordon. Just what Murray does in playoffs is like he's different, bro.
Yeah, I mean, he had moments this last run.
They're not winning a championship without Murray. You can say that about either of them. They're not winning a championship without Aaron Gordon. Those are the three guys. Well, honestly,
I think they could have won the championship last year without Murray.
Nah,
bro. They were still like 50+ wins without Murray the other 2 seasons ago.
But they never won a championship without him.
And then they lost to.
They never won a championship without
who
him.
they lose to that year in the playoffs.
Which year?
When Murray was injured. I think they lost to the Lakers. Yeah, they lost to the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah,
without Murray.
That's what I'm saying. They would have won maybe if Murray was there.
Bro,
so you're proving my point.
No, I mean I'm not sure about that. You know, like
first of all,
I think Bron and AD were on a mission.
I think the answer is that they're not winning a championship without either of those guys. Like if one or the other is gone, they're not winning a championship.
I agree. I just think they have. I think they have no chance. I mean, it's going to be tougher without either one of them. I think they have no chance without Aaron Gordon. I think that they could fall into a championship. I think what Jamal Murray provides, I think they have enough pieces to fill those gaps. They got that kid, Julian Schroeder, who's playing out of his mind right now. The rookie, he's shooting 50% from three right now. He had a 20-something point game in like 19 minutes or something like that. He's cooking right now. I think they can fill that scoring with other pieces. What Aaron Gordon does for that team, they cannot. There's no one on that team that can fill that void. No one.
Yeah, Aaron Gordon was like the Andrew Wiggins of the Denver Nuggets in the sense not that they're the same player. They just learned how to play a role for a very high-level team after being more of a go-to guy in their previous team.
Absolutely. I mean, Andre Iguodala, same thing. Like those players are like those players are intangible. Those like utility players are like every championship team you've ever seen, bro, has a utility guy. Think about it. Think of like you think about like the Trevor Arizas. Remember when the Lakers made that run? Trevor Ariza was like their most important player. You think about like Robert Horry or even like Rick Fox, like what he did for those early Lakers teams.
Well, Rick Fox was never a franchise guy, like Iguodala was.
Well, I mean, I'm regardless. I mean, just a utility player. So those guys compromised their stardom to be a utility guy. You know, Andre Iguodala was another utility guy that really fit that mold. You know, every championship team has one of those guys, man. So you have to figure out those people that are gonna like kind of fill whatever gap needs to be filled in that situation. You know, feel the game, and those people often have a great feel for the game. Like Aaron Gordon has a phenomenal feel for the game.
He does. I think he has better feel than Wiggins, actually.
I think Wiggins has great feel. I just think
he's struggling this year.
Wiggins is. I think Wiggins is a. One thing about him, I think he's a sensitive person, and I think he's dealing with some personal issues.
Are those issues real that come up on the internet and stuff?
I mean, one of them was real with his father, right?
Oh, I didn't know about his father.
Yeah, I forget what happened. Something happened to his father, where it was the that's why he was absent for a significant amount of time. The lie was like his girlfriend, something about his girlfriend cheated on him or something
Yeah,
like
the
that.
baby wasn't his.
The baby wasn't, something like that.
That was a lie.
That was a lie. Yeah. But it was like personal issue with his father or something like that. And he's a quiet person, but he's a really sensitive person as well too. So like, I think things affect him mentally, you know. So I think he's going through tough place. I mean, he was like that early on in his career as well too.
Him and Clay are struggling right now.
I mean, Clay's been struggling, man. Clay's been my favorite player, man, and he's really struggling. And I think he's got to accept that he's just not the same person anymore. And I know that's a tough
Well, he
place
needs to be somewhat close to that if they want to win, especially this year with everybody declining.
I mean, he can't be. I mean, I think the number one factor that Clay brought was his perimeter defense, right, on, you know, the guards that Steph couldn't cover, and his clutch. Like, he was one of the most clutch players for that team. Like, he was the guy that hit, like, you know, down by 4. He hit that clutch 3 to keep you back in the game with, like, you know, he's just great at that.
Also, one thing is that nobody talks about, he was probably more flammable than even Steph Curry. Like, his heat.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Nobody's heat was hotter than Clay's.
Honestly, I think Clay might be, when he's hot, he might be the most unguardable person in NBA history, just because, like, the level of discipline you have to guard a guy that doesn't dribble the ball, is running full speed, and wherever he gets it, he's shooting from. That's next level discipline, bro. You know, so like I mean,
yes, he was different. I mean, 38 and a quarter.
That's just wild, bro. So like, and I think he is coming to mortality. I mean, his mortality, knowing that, like, that person's probably
God, he's
gone.
not gonna die, man.
His basketball career is dying. I'll tell you that.
Already?
Yeah, he's done. He's still gonna be good. He's just not the same guy. Like, he's not gonna take over a game. He might have a game for you.
Well,
but you
Draymond
can't.
seemed to decline. Wiggins not playing the same. Clay's not playing well. Steph Curry still looking like Steph Curry. But I have this tweet. I got some pushback, so I wanted to hear your thoughts on this.
Okay.
This was actually like probably a year ago or maybe more. I have to look at the exact date. But I said Katie and Steph haven't regressed in terms of their individual ability. The league is just evolving at a rapid pace, and what they do doesn't move the needle quite as much as it used to.
Okay, so I agree with part of that, right? I think definitely KD. I've always said that about KD. I thought even at his prime, it doesn't move the needle a ton. Man, Steph's situation, I can't definitively say yes about, because they're dealing with so many other factors. Like, I think one of the things about that Golden State team that people underestimate is, like, how connected they were, like how much they all rode for each other, how much confidence they all fed off of each other from Steph. Like, you know, their chemistry's off, their connectivity's off. Like, so if they have all of that firing and Steph is still struggling and the team is still struggling, I can see that. But one thing about champions is they have a specific type of mentality. So when you put them in those situations, they can overcome. The problem is that they haven't gelled enough. Like Andrew Wiggins looks like he doesn't care out there. You know, Clay is constantly trying to prove.
I said this the other day.
He is the same person.
I said this the other day.
And
Andrew Wiggins seems like he doesn't care, and Clay cares too much.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Like, so you can tell that's chemistry issues right there. Yeah. You know what I mean? Chris Paul is trying to figure out what his role is going to be. Like, are they going to bring him off the bench? They're still trying to figure that stuff out. I think another thing is that small ball sucks now. Small ball is not it anymore. Like, that's just not the NBA anymore. You know what I mean? We're not going big like we used to. But now teams that everybody's 6'7".
You'll get punished. Yeah.
Everyone's 6'7" and 6'9", 6'10", 6'11". So you can't really play small ball anymore. So Steve Kerr is trying to figure. I mean, Steve Kerr tried to play small ball. Team USA and they got destroyed. You know what I mean? That shit
That's
don't
why I
work
never
no
thought
more.
the Chris Paul thing was going to work, because Chris Paul is naturally going to be one of your best players, and you're not going to be able to play him with Steph in the backcourt, especially defensively, and he doesn't mesh well with Draymond on the offensive side of the ball.
So because of that, the team is just not confident anymore. Like when I see them plug in at all cylinders, like, yo, this is working for us, and they're still losing, that's when I can like definitively say, okay, you know what, that shit just doesn't move the needle. But the way Steph plays almost has to move the needle, because he creates so much gravity that guys are open. Like, you know, if you're cutting, you're gonna get wide open backdoors, layups, wide open threes, even till this day.
Of course, both of them move the needle. They're all-time greats. That wasn't my point. My point was that they stayed the same and the league got better.
Okay, you're right. But okay,
like if they're doing exactly what they always did, and part of the reason why these teams got better was the Warriors' influence, like player movement, ball movement. I think the Kings are heavily influenced by the Warriors, and actually Denver is too in a lot of ways, like constant movement, constant team basketball, constant player movement as well.
No, I agree. I do agree. Like I think that the league the floor of the NBA has grown so much, and not just with players but with teams. Like you look at the teams that are good right now, like out of nowhere, the Pacers are they have the number one offense in the league right now.
Shouts to Rick Carlisle, man, because he's like obviously an older dude now, but he gets modern basketball.
100%. You know, then you got the Kings. Obviously, you know, last year we saw their playoff run, but they're right up there again. Then you got teams like Houston. Like this shit might be real. Like I don't know. Like we've been making fun of Dylan Brooks, but bro, dude is cooking right now.
I was talking about
dude is absolutely cooking. He's shooting the best right now in the NBA from three. Shoot 57% from three currently.
Yeah,
this is crazy.
I was talking about the Rockets in the offseason, that they made great moves. I would say they're not legit contenders now, though. They're just.
I don't think they're contenders.
They're a solid playoff team, though.
They're a team that's gonna fuck your shit up if you're not playing.
100%.
You know they're gonna give you a tough.
They're gonna be a playoff team. Yeah.
They're gonna be a playoff team.
Yeah.
Dog. I mean, and then you think about the other teams that we expected to be there are all in the play-in or out of the playoffs right now. Golden State, Lakers, Clippers,
Suns,
all four of them.
Let me ask you this though: who has the best chance out of those teams
to win the championship?
Yes, got to be the Lakers. Got to be the Lakers.
Man, no, Lakers look awful. They just look awful. Like I mean,
I feel like there's a move left to be made for them.
Yeah, if they make a move, this team, bro, I don't understand.
They got some players outside of their top two.
I agree they have players. They just, like, the thing about it is, like, dog, I don't understand. Like, I think they don't understand what they're doing, right? They constantly keep trying to play around AD. And that is just, they have to still build around LeBron. And building around LeBron is having shooters. And right now, and defense.
Yeah.
And right now, who is the worst team from three in the NBA? It's the Los Angeles Lakers. And that's why they're struggling. If you're going to play, like if LeBron is still the best player on the team, and you have to revolve your offense around him, the proven strategy to success with LeBron is defense and shooters. And they have neither right now. So they're going to struggle. Like, I don't understand. Is Gabe Vincent playing?
He's been hurt.
He's been hurt?
Yeah.
So that might help, you know. They just have no shooters. Like, they have a bunch of guys that can't shoot. Jared Vanderbilt can't shoot. He hasn't been playing, but Rui's not really a great shooter. He's not, you know. AD they wanted him to shoot 6 threes a game. He's shooting 1, and he's shooting like 20-something% from 3.
He's not shooting a lot of threes.
Yeah, they wanted him to shoot. I mean,
I know they said 8 threes a game.
6, I think.
Oh, 6?
Yeah, Darvin Ham wanted him to shoot 6 a game, and he's averaging 1 a game, and he's shooting 20-something%.
Not a believer in his own free ball.
I think like the worst thing that could ever happen to AD was going to the Lakers.
Struggling too. The Bucks.
They're not struggling. They're like 6-3.
They're struggling.
I mean, for what we expected them to be, yes, they're struggling. Okay, Giannis was out a couple games. Dames was out a couple games. They're still 6-3. It's just that the East is killing right now. The Bucks are gonna be fine. They're not.
They'll figure it out. New coach.
Yeah, I don't know about Adrian Griffin. That's the only thing. I'm not sure about AG. I like AG, and
this is going to take some coaching. This is not just roll the balls out there with this team.
This is the problem with the NBA now. Motherfuckers want everybody to be friendly with them. That's like nobody wants to be held accountable for nothing no more.
Bucks are 7-4.
You know what I mean? AG is a great dude. Like people love Adrian Griffin. He's a nice guy. Yo, I don't know if he's got the X's and O's to win games though. Like how would you?
You just said they'd be fine. Now I bring up the coach. Now
No. I'm talking to win a championship. Like their goal is to win a championship. They're going to be fine. Fine is not championship.
Is
though.
a championship a bust for Giannis? Because
Absolutely.
remember his statement.
It's. I mean, I still think he is going to stay. Oh, he is going to stay. He just signed his contract.
Yeah.
But it's a championship a bust every single time they play they play.
There's no failure in sports.
There's failure in sports.
But Giannis says there's no failure in sports.
I understand Giannis' sentiment, but like the goal is to win, and if you don't,
organizationally, it's
absolutely
a failure. Yeah, if they lose,
absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, like I get what he's saying. Like you can, I think if people took it out of context, what he is saying is that, with every fail endeavor, you learn from. So like if you take that approach, obviously that
it's a philosophical approach.
It's a philosophical approach. But if your goal is to win a championship, right, you failed.
Well, and also after this trade, I mean, they doubled down on win now mode, right? Of course they're win now mode because Giannis, but I mean this trade was to win, bringing in Dame.
Yeah. I think they need some pieces. They need a couple pieces around them, like small pieces, defenders. Like, I think losing Drew Holiday was a huge, huge blow. Like,
yeah, I mean, they lost Grayson Allen, too. He tried hard on this defensive side.
Very annoying defender.
Yeah.
Like, so I think they're going to have
That's
to fill
two pieces
those gaps.
right there. And then Dame, obviously, he's better offensively than those guys, but he's not the defender they are.
And same with Malik Beasley. He's
I don't think Malik is shooting it as well yet.
Yeah. So, I mean.
Speaking of Giannis, all he did was dunk on somebody and scowl. They teched him out the game. What are we doing here?
Bro, this shit got me tight, bro. It really gets me tight because you're telling every single day they talk about the NBA players don't play with passion. It doesn't look like they care out there. And then when they care and they show emotion, you take it away from them. Like, that shit is whack, bro. Like, dog, like we all talk about the Mamba mentality and the looks that he gave people and staring down at people. Now, when people do that randomly, when they make a great play, you penalize them for that shit? That shit's whack, bro. Like, I don't understand what, I actually met Adam Silver recently, right? And he's a really mild-mannered person. Like, and I understand how a person like that could see and act like that being threatening. And I think that he wants to like commercialize the NBA in like a family-friendly type environment. And he thinks that stuff isn't right for the game. It doesn't brand his game right. But I just think that is the edge that the NFL has that the NBA doesn't have, or they're trying to get away from.
Wait, say that one more time. What does the NFL have that the NBA doesn't have?
That edge, you're able to kind of like talk shit, like scowl.
They got rid of celebrations. The NFL.
They brought it back.
Oh, they brought it back. Okay. I'm not an NFL guy.
Yeah. No, they got rid of it at a certain point, but they saw how much it affected the game.
Yeah.
So they let people celebrate now. I mean, to an extent, but it's like.
But a scowling, and he wasn't even staring him down. That was crazy. And I wonder, do you feel that's the ref's fault or just the league's policy?
No, I think it's the ref's fault. I think.
Yeah, I mean, like any ref that hoop would never call that. That's what I think.
So I agree with that. Like I think that the NBA has a policy where they're like, watch this, watch that. But I think the refs are jumping to conclusions when they see stuff like that often. And the thing about it is like you can't walk that shit back. I also think like I'm not letting the refs off the hook, but I think similar to Giannis in that situation where something happens quickly and you make an impulsive decision, an emotional decision. I think the refs are doing the exact same thing with the calls. And with that said, they should be more have more perspective and realize that like these guys can't control it. Because I think every time a ref does that, especially to a guy like Giannis, they go, fuck, I shouldn't have called that.
No, or they just want to be the show. They want to be like a bigger part of the show than they really are.
Some refs are like that, but I think a lot of refs sometimes get caught up. You know what I mean? It's like they see something and they see it.
So they made the wrong instinctive decision.
It made the wrong instinctive decision. I think probably most times it's like that. You know, the game is so fast, bang bang, and you see something, and like I also do think that people. You're right. People want to be the show. I think they want to be part of the event. They like you see some refs what they're doing pregame and stuff like that.
Fans didn't go to see them.
Man, nobody's paying $1.
Giannis.
Yeah, so it's
and then Giannis can't play. And then they did it to Ant-Man.
I also think that he forgot that Giannis already had a technical, and he was like, "Fuck, this dude just got ejected." Because that was the second technical.
Giannis sat in the stands too. You saw that?
Oh yeah, that was
funny.
That was funny as hell.
Adam Silver, you mentioned Adam Silver. He actually had something interesting to say about NBA commentary. That there's not enough in-depth analysis. Did you see that on JJ's pod?
Nah, I didn't see that. What did he say?
He's saying that like we need more than this team tried harder or this team had more effort, and he thinks that the NFL does a good job of actually breaking down plays, and we need to see more of that in the NBA.
That would be interesting. Like okay, so I give him that. That is the truth. Like I watch a lot of NFL and. There's a significant amount of commentators that get jobs because of the way they break down the game when they watch it. Mm-hmm. Like they get coaching jobs. Like, people are talking about Tony Romo. Like people always knew Tony Romo was a good player, but then when he started, commenting, people were like, man, this dude's really smart. He knows the game and he explains it in such a great way that if you don't know the game that well, he breaks it down really, really well. I think that there's some commentators that do that. I think that like Mark Jackson does that from time to time.
They just fired him from New York, or he said it was something different though.
I don't know what happened with that shit.
But New York came out with Mark Jackson came out with a statement that they were lying. I don't know. It's crazy.
Oh, I didn't even hear that part. But I mean, the way they announced it, that shit was it was like
weird.
I thought it was like some sexual harassment shit. That's how they broke the news. Like it was like weird. A scandal.
Yeah, it was weird.
That shit was weird.
Like it was like an emergency fire.
Yeah, they were like breaking news. This this shit was wild.
It was weird because they said it was something from like years ago. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on.
Why would they hire him? They hired him like a week before that.
The whole thing doesn't make sense.
If it's from years ago, why?
Like Kelly Oubre ring thing. Like it doesn't make sense. How does TMZ get this? Like who knows? Bro. We're always missing some information.
Yeah. I mean, I there's something up with Mark Jackson that like I love Mark Jackson, but I don't understand. Like from what his public persona shows, he seems like he's a funny, smart, charismatic, God-fearing, nice guy, but like nobody wants him.
They didn't want the religion in the locker room, right? That was an issue.
I don't even understand that. Like since the beginning of time, there's been religion in sports. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it's crazy. Like if there's so many colleges that are religious based, that kids go to those schools and have to pray. Like, my brother went to a Catholic school, Stonehill, and they had to pray before games. You know what I mean? Like, that's just how it is. Like, that doesn't mean that you have to abide by those laws and whatnot. That's just part of the culture of the school. So I don't understand, like, if a coach wants to pray, you can just make yourself absent from that. Like, if you are letting people not have to stand for the national anthem or whatever, kneel, all that stuff, why can't they be excused from any sort of prayer? Like that is some person's individual philosophy. Phil Jackson was a Buddhist, and he introduced a significant amount of Buddhist ideology.
Is Buddhism a religion?
Yeah.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
I feel like you could be Christian and Buddhist or Jewish and Buddhist, but not Jewish and Christian.
Probably, but I'm not Jewish. I don't know much about you. I don't want to say nothing about Jewish people because I ain't trying to get canceled like Nick Cannon. So, but he introduced a lot of his Buddhism to the early Lakers
Wasn't
team.
Nick Cannon think something with Dr. Sebi? Or no, that was something else. Wasn't that something?
Well, it started off with the Dr. Sebi thing, but then
we're not getting into this. Yeah, we're not.
But
getting
then
into this. We're not getting into this.
okay, all right.
ahead.
But anyways, Phil Jackson introduced Buddhist philosophy to the Lakers teams. He had them meditating every day.
Yeah.
He was giving them books and stuff like that.
If you don't read them once I give them to you.
He was giving them books. He was having people. He was burning sage before games and stuff like that.
Like Kyrie?
Yeah, Kyrie got that shit from Kobe, who got that shit from Phil. So that is
So that's where Kyrie got the sage idea from?
yeah. So, but that was an influence, and that is putting your ideology on your team. That doesn't mean that, let's say, I don't know, Travis Knight, he probably doesn't fuck with none of that shit, but he was on that championship team. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean that you have to do that stuff. So I don't understand why the religion. I thought that was a cop out. I never thought that shit was real, because so many coaches have a specific ideology, and some of it is religion, some of it is something else.
Not
you know what I mean?
political, right?
Some political, yeah, absolutely, bro. Like, dog, it bleeds into your job, that you're human. You know what I mean? You're spending significant amount of time with people. Your ideology, your religion, your political views are going to bleed into your teammates. You know what I mean?
Do you believe it's beneficial for one to abandon ideology?
No.
To be their own individual?
To be your own individual.
Yes.
That's your own ideology. You know what I mean? Like, ideology, it doesn't mean what somebody else thinks. You know what I mean?
I'm talking about ideology that got to a level where there's an abundance of people following it.
Yeah, I mean, okay, like, I'm a proponent of, like, I'm going to hear out what anyone has to say.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to listen to them thoroughly, right? Mm-hmm. And then after, I'm going to make my decision. I'm not going to, even if my natural instinct is aligned with a specific ideology, I'm always going to...
You mean a specific part of that ideology?
Part of that ideology. I'm always going to make a sound decision. I'm going to, research, check my facts, and then I'm going to, make a decision. I'm not going to follow somebody just because in
agreement with one thing. When it comes to that ideology, that you follow everything. That you will follow everything with that ideology.
Absolutely. That's how I am. And I think that's how everyone should be, but I also understand why other people are like that. There's a significant amount of people in this world that struggle with the responsibility of making decisions for themselves. Right? It's just how it is. Like, there's some people, like, I work for myself.
It's also easier to not have to think.
Absolutely. I work for myself. If I don't go out and prospect and find new clients, I don't make a dime. I make $0, bro, right? And I'm doing pretty well for myself. My girl is extremely smart. She couldn't do that. She just can't. She needs a job. She needs to be told, this is what I need to do. These are my metrics. Put in a specific type of box. There's just a lot of people that need a specific type of structure. And then there's other people that have the ability to create whatever they want. They have the mental capacity, and discipline to be able to kind of find their own lane, But most people in this world, whether they know it or not, have been conditioned to do exactly what they're doing.
Following the herd brings regression to the mean. You heard? Yeah. I always knew I was a prophet, but I couldn't find a decent job.
All right,
let's end there. If you're watching this on YouTube, punch down on that subscribe button. If you're listening to this on your Apple Podcast app, rate, review, and punch down on that subscribe button. Combo, Ash.
There it is.
Peace.